All right. So maybe you heard it here first a little bit. I will say this, Dan, you saw it on the screen there. When you made your first proclamation, the Patriots had just a 17% chance to even make the playoffs. But
doing this for him.
Here's the thing, because I'm not going to him right now. I'm going to you first.
Geniuses
Mina.
are very underappreciated.
To be clear, our reaction was about the Colts going far.
Yeah, it was. We all kind of agreed on the Patriots. But whatever, drama makes good TV.
You're not going to use us to do like
Mina.
look good.
I've always been high on the Patriots.
Let's focus on this Patriots defense, though. Is that a Super Bowl caliber unit?
Yes, absolutely. They're a top 5 defense in the NFL, and it's for the same reason that they so often are, which is there's no better coach in the history of the league, but right now as well, at tailoring his defense, not only to each matchup week after week, but the skills of his personnel than Bill freaking Belichick. Talking about a defense that comes into this season and early on plays a ton of man. As the season progresses, you know, they lose Stephon Gilmore. Of course, he never played. And then Jonathan Jones. Increasingly, they play more zone, They play it well. Against a team like the Chargers, they play light. Against a team like the Browns, they go heavy. I mean, they do this all the time. Like, are we supposed to be surprised by the fact that Bill Belichick is the most adaptable coach in the NFL? I do want to say, to the personnel point, Matt Judon, old Red Sleeves, is the best signing of free agency.
Old Red Sleeves.
We not talk about him enough on this show. He is absolutely crushing it for him. And so when we talk about the Patriots having a Super Bowl caliber defense, it starts with Matt Judon for me.
One of the greatest rappers of all time made a song called Y'all Must Have Forgot. His name was Roy Jones Jr.
Let's go.
And I only say that to say, you know, I think COVID year, like, we must have forgot. You look at what they were able to do in the I'm trying to talk. You look at what they were able to do in the offseason. Mina mentioned Matthew Judon, but also getting some of those guys back off of the COVID opt-out list, right? You add Jalen Mills, who isn't a great piece on the outside, but has played well enough. Kyle Duggar is a dude you get from Lenore Rhyme. Never heard of it. Never seen it. Didn't know they played football. But he's an intricate chess piece into what they've done at this position, where sometimes he's the dime backer, sometimes he's the strong safety. He can also play deep. He's been one of those dudes that he's maneuvered around week to week. Bill Belichick has put this team in a position to succeed defensively, and now the offense is coming along as well. That's why you see those wins.
That's the thing. The offense kind of feeds off the defense because the defense is so good, the offense never has to chase points. Right? The offense can strictly be about, we're going to operate versus a certain defense. We're going to call plays for a certain situation. You never chase points given what the scoreboard is. You're never trying to feel like, well, the scoreboard is going to dictate something, or I got to get out of my game plan because what the scoreboard is, or I got to get out of what our philosophy is because of what the scoreboard. This offense has 4 drives this year of 15-plus plays or more. 4. There's only one team in the NFL with more, and that's Kansas City, and they got 5, right? So that's why this offense can be so kind of methodical in the way they operate, because they're never chasing points because the defense is so good.
My notes, literally. Great complimentary football team. And coming out of the draft, this is why I thought this was the best place for Mac Jones. What does Alabama do? They play complimentary football. That's like the staple of Nick Saban and what he coaches and how he coaches his football teams. We are going to allow them to make mistakes before we do. All right? And from a defensive perspective, to your point, Mina, with Judon, this is one thing that's always stood the test of time, and you two know this. It ain't about the names in New England. Do you fit my defense? Do you fit what I'm doing as a defensive coordinator? And when people see these names, like you mentioned Duggar, and we had team. I remember
Van Noy.
Van Noy.
Can't play nowhere else. Van Noy can't play nowhere.
Devon Garchar that they took from Miami. This is identifying personnel, and that's what Bill Belichick has been tremendous at defensively.
I will ask this though, Mina. What if someone really does challenge this Patriots team, throws them off their game, doesn't let them do these things that they've done so well? What do you think?
Bills twice in December, once on Monday Night Football. Check it out on ESPN. And I think that is going to be a really telling matchup. I also think, however, you know how we've been seeing these AFC teams get embarrassed and shocked? I don't think that's going to happen in New England. Like, they have a higher floor. Maybe the ceiling's not as high as the Chiefs, but the floor is high.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.